Hey, this is Russ. I thought I'd take a easy path today. This is actually going in the opposite direction of how we normally go, but it might actually look a little different to you because of that. I usually go down one way, and that's all you ever get to see. So I rode all the way out to the back end of this thing and decided I'm going to go back the other way. I know I've done it before, but it's so few and far between that it might even look different to you because of that. And I'm not going to go too fast either. I'm just going to take it easy. I had debated about whether I wanted to go all the way out to Bussy Woods today. But the more I thought about it, I said, no, I don't feel like riding 40 miles today. Because, when I do Bussy Woods, if I only do Bussy Woods one time through, then it's like 30-something miles. If I do it 2 times through, then it's 40-something miles. And I always kind of relied on having that second battery with me as a just in case to get home, all right? But since I sewed off the rad battery, and he should be receiving that hopefully today, I only have one battery. I have the one Chinese battery. Now, the Chinese battery can get me 49 miles, but yeah, I didn't want to risk it. That's where that second battery comes in as a backup, really. Yeah, because I don't think I would ever actually use both batteries on a single trip to Bussy Woods. But hey, if something happens and I find that I don't have enough battery power coming back, I have that second battery. That's the whole point of it. So, yeah, second battery should be here Friday, today being Tuesday. I ordered it on Saturday, so they tell you within a week you usually get it. Anyways, not a whole lot of things happening today. I just felt like this should be an easy, lazy day. That's why I don't really want to go too fast. I'm pedaling and throttling today. So I may end up at the 3-mile circular ride. Usually is what happens when I stay around this general area. That's okay. On your left. Thank you. So yeah, a little bit easier day. Today, it's supposed to be a little warmer than it was yesterday. I could already feel the heat a little bit more now. But again, being early in the morning, it's not too bad, really. So since I'm not using the map program, I figured I'd give you guys a camera facing me. But again, the sun is behind me right now, so I'm kind of being backlit. So I always look a little darker than I should. Thank you. But it should look good for the forward-facing camera. You should have some good views of things that I'm seeing going forward. So yeah, if I'm not pedaling, video looks a lot smoother, of course. If I'm throttling. So overall, the knee is doing pretty well. I can't really complain too much. Stiffness seems to be less than when I first started this whole mess. So overall, I think I'm doing pretty decent. And by the way, whenever you see these big bounces going on, it's really not as bad as you think. It's just the camera makes it look worse than it is. The paths themselves are usually pretty smooth, but when you have intersection crossings, things like that, you're gonna bounce a little bit. Now, the alternative, rather than going to the forest preserve, I can get off and ride around the streets. Should we do that? Just to see what people's neighborhoods look like? Stalking their neighborhoods? Nah. Nah, we'll go into forest preserves. Now, this part of the path you should recognize, because this is usually where we go as we're heading towards the forest preserves. I mentioned that they had fixed the streets and the curbs, okay, one whole long stretch of the road. Well, they started fixing the other side of the road now. Now, typically I don't ride that side of the road, but what they did do is they put, they rip apart the curbs and walkways going up, and that's right in front of the entrance of the forest preserve. So while I'm not riding on there to get there that way, I do get off of that over there. So that means there's no longer a smooth path to get out of there. I had to wonder, why didn't they do this? When they ripped apart the other part of the street, why did they have to do it now? Because I think it took them like 3 months to fix that road, so they're going to take another 3 months to fix this other road, so that brings them into winter time, end of fall, I should say. So for me to get off of the forest preserve at that area now, I now have to actually jump a curb. I don't jump it. I get off the bike and then I move my bike off the curb, and then position myself so I can ride on the street in order to get back towards home. So yeah, they fixed one thing, messed me up on another. That's so typical. That is so typical. Yeah, like we always laugh in Chicago, that Chicago only has 2 seasons, winter and road construction. All right. It's actually true. And the winters mess up our streets because of all the salt. So, anyways, I guess I should come to expect it. It is Chicago, after all. Yeah, it's the suburbs of Chicago, but it's the same thing. Same mentality. Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with Chicago, or not from this area, yeah, the suburbs are a little bit different. The feel is different than the heart of Chicago. Now, I grew up in Chicago as a kid, and then by the time I hit 8th grade, we had moved to the suburbs. So I don't know how, when I was in high school, I always considered myself a Chicago kid, because your thinking is a little bit different than the suburban kids. You're a little more street smart, maybe, because of that. But then I've been in the suburbs ever since, so I don't know whether I'm a suburban person or a Chicago person. I would guess I'm more of a suburban person at this point, after so many years. And of course, I moved out to San Diego area and then moved back to Chicago. So am I Californian, or am I a person from Chicago? I'm a Chicago guy, Chicago area person. Although I do miss California. During the winter time, I always think, if we were still out in California, we'd have things to do. It's true. Yeah, we used to go to SeaWorld all the time. We'd go to Universal Studios up in LA. We'd have things to do. And there's Seaport Village out in San Diego you can hang out at. I used to work downtown because I worked at the courthouse with the DA's office. So I was always down in the downtown area. Downtown San Diego is not like downtown Chicago, right? There's a night and day difference there. But, it's been so long since I've been to San Diego, I'm sure a lot of things have changed there as well. So one day I would like to head back, see some old friends maybe, and then also take a look at what's changed. What I really like to do is check out how the police department's changed, but by the time I go there, nobody will know me because all of those guys have either retired or moved on and done other things. So, I'd be a stranger there again. Don't know if they would give me a tour of the crime lab because that's what I'm most used to at the San Diego Police Department. And I never got to see the new building of the Chula Vista Police Department because after I left, they ended up building a different building. So the building I'm familiar with is no longer the police department. So, and all those people will be gone by the time I go back there. All right, so they got road work. They did this last time. I ended up having to ride up on the grass, which might be a little tough because there's a big angle here. Let me see. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to walk it. All right, let's walk around this thing. The incline for the grass area is a little too steep for me to trust. So I'm just gonna walk around the truck here. They're doing cleaning up all the leaves and stuff. Wow, that's noisy. Yeah, what they're doing is they're cutting down branches and things like that. A necessary thing that needs to be done. Those things grow out so fast that it kind of blocks the paths and things. So I'm glad they're doing it. So, what was I talking about? Chicago? San Diego? Yeah, I'd like to go back and visit. It's been many years. What was nice was one of the evidence technicians from Chula Vista Police Department who helped train me came out to Chicago for a visit. I got to see him after so many years. And he brought two photos for me that had been hanging up on the walls of the Chula Vista Police Department all those years. Is photos of me actually in the crime lab processing fingerprints on a gun. And I remember my supervisor asking me to pose for those photos. He says these photos are going to go up on the wall so people who visit the crime lab will know what it is that a crime lab does. Okay. So I hadn't seen those photos in so many years. I mean, we're talking, maybe early 1990, something like that. So he brought them. He ended up retiring, and he grabbed them off the wall. He says, I'm going to give this to Russ one day when I finally see him, when I go visit out in the Chicago area. And he brought it to me. So I'll find the pictures. I'll put them up here for you guys to take a look at. I've shown it once before, but hey, I'll show it to you again. There's a lot of new people who haven't seen stuff. There's videos. If you go onto the playlists, if you go onto my channel, the channel exactly, not just the one video, but go to the Russ is Right channel on YouTube, you'll see playlists of different things, and I've kind of organized it for you. There's things on forensics, there's music, things that I play my guitar and keyboards and vocals and drums and all that stuff. so you can listen to music if you've never seen or heard the music videos before. And there's some things that I talk about on a forensics level too. So yeah, one day I'd like to go back. I was gonna go back this year actually to attend a wedding. My daughter's friend was getting married, but because of the COVID situation and everything, didn't get to go. Thank you. Didn't get to go, so we had really kind of hoped to use that as a reason to go and visit, do a week or something like that. So, well, when this pandemic thing is finally under control, whenever that happens to be, maybe we'll take the trip, go out there. I have a hard time, keeping masks on for a long time. I don't mind putting the mask on for protection, for myself and also for others, but I can't leave it on for that long. I have a hard time even if it was on for 20 minutes. I could just imagine what it would be like to be on a plane for 4.5 hours or something like that to get to California. I would never be able to handle it. Anyways, it's warming up a little bit. I can definitely feel it as we're moving along, but there is a slight breeze, so that definitely helps. This part of the path you guys should be familiar with, because we do this all the time. But it's an easy thing. I don't have to really think about traffic and things. I think that's really the thing that really bothers me the most. I mean, I like having a place to go to. I like, riding out to Bussy Woods and to Prospect Heights on the streets. If there wasn't traffic, traffic is always the killer. Literally, sometimes, unfortunately. So I know going on these things, which is closer by for me. I still have to take some streets to get here, but it's still closer than going all the way out to Bussy Woods. I don't have to think so much, really. I can just simply just ride and not think about car traffic. I mean, there's people, there's other bikes and things like that, but that's not as hard to deal with compared to having to deal with cars. And you start seeing the same people over and over. Like this lady here in front of us, I've seen her many times. I think she has a dog in there. Let me see as I ride back past. Yep. She has a dog in there. She pushes the dog in the stroller. She doesn't... She doesn't have a baby in the stroller. She has a dog in the stroller. Yeah, so that dog's kind of spoiled, huh? Yeah, after a while, you start recognizing the same people because their daily routine is kind of similar to your own, and they go up the same the paths as you do. Yeah, going up that hill is always a little tougher. And I always tend to forget that it's coming up, so I don't have a running start, so to speak. So then it makes it tougher going up the hill. Yeah, a little bit more torque would be better. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to really say today. Hey, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys next time.